joined by a freshman congressman from the north suburbs, Brad Schneider, a Democrat. He defeated the former incumbent Bob Dole, who now says he's planning to run again, but we may get into a bit of that. But, Congressman, you are upset that this past week we observed the 6th anniversary of the 6-month anniversary of the Newtown massacre, and Congress has still not even had a vote on gun legislation.
Mike, today is the 6-month anniversary, and I think all of us can remember exactly where we were 6 months ago when we heard the horrible news about 20 school children and 6 adults killed, murdered. And we sit here 6 months later, nothing's been done. We can't even bring a vote to the House, and it's nothing other than shameful that this body can't talk about the need to reduce gun violence. We need to address the issue. We need to make background checks universal, close the gun show loophole. We need to make illegal trafficking a federal crime. And if we can't do these, if we can't reduce the access to assault weapons and high-capacity magazines to protect our children, to protect our schools, our communities, it's just a disgrace that we haven't done something in 6 months.
Now, Congressman Schneider, you know, though, that the NRA and others, not necessarily members of the NRA, argue, hey, if you block the sale of these heavy weapons or of the big ammo magazines, then the bad guys will have them, but I, the law-abiding citizen, I won't.
Yeah, I think the NRA's goal is to just block any discussion. I'm proud that the NRA has given me an F for my position of advocating for just common sense policies that will reduce gun violence in our communities. We have to have universal background checks. We need to make illegal trafficking a federal crime so that guns don't get into the hands of the criminals, that we can have safer streets, safer schools. And so I am proud that I am here in Congress working, and even though we haven't been able to move forward in 6 months, I'm committed to getting something done. I will continue to push for these common sense approaches to reducing gun violence and working with all colleagues to try to get something done.
Here on this Fox 32 Sunday show, we've had many discussions from all sides about Illinois' concealed carry debate. What's your view of the concealed carry of loaded firearms?
Well, you know, the Supreme Court forced Illinois' hands, and my view, and I'm going to bring it back to the national stage, we're seeing all around the country unfortunate incidents of gun violence. If we can't have common sense policy, if we can't have universal background checks, if we can't have federal action to make trafficking and crime, it's just ever more harder to make our streets and communities safe. We need to have these issues. I will continue to work on them to make sure we move forward.
I think in many minds, an even more important issue than guns, Congressman Schneider, is jobs. We've been reporting here at Fox 32 in a series that's called Chicago at the Tipping Point about companies that have been leaving Illinois. This past week I was up in Crystal Lake, up in McHenry, talking to a company that, the owner of a company that has moved much against his will down to Portland, Tennessee. What are you doing on jobs? What is Congress doing to help Illinois specifically no longer be the state with the highest unemployment in the Midwest?
Mike, that's a crucial question. I have said from day one that growing the economy, creating quality, well-paying jobs has to be our first priority. It has been my first priority. The first act I introduced is the America Works Act that works with industry and educational institutions to address our skills gap. As I mentioned, I go to businesses. Every time I'm home, I visit businesses in the district, and everywhere I go, I hear about the difficulty in finding people with the skills employers need to fill the jobs they have. The America Works Act is a direct step to close that gap, to give people looking for jobs the training and the skills they need to fill the jobs that employers are trying to complete, so they can grow and take advantage of a growing economy.
Many small and medium businesses, medium-sized businesses, as you know, Congressman, are worried about the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Are you afraid that there are going to be major problems implementing Obamacare?
Well, the Health Care Act is being put in place over the next several months and years, and I'm going to be working with businesses and people in the district and my colleagues here to make sure that we hear the concerns, address the concerns of small business, that we make sure that we move forward on health care. My frustration is that the debate has not been about how do we take it forward. There are things in the Act that are crucial, and we need to promote those. There's things that need repair, and we need to work on addressing those. And that's the issue that I've been focusing on here in Congress.
All right. Well, Congressman Brad Schneider, I very much appreciate your taking the time to do this. I know you're very busy down there in D.C. Real quick, Bob Dole says he's going to run against you. It looks like a rematch in 2014. What's your view of that?
Mike, thank you for the time. My focus is representing the district here in Washington, making sure that we keep jobs in the economy as the first priority. That's why I introduced the America Works Act, making sure that we can develop and work with schools and help kids get the education they need to succeed. I want to focus on that. I'm focusing on trying to move forward on addressing gun violence, reducing gun violence. That's why we're having this conversation today. And I'm going to be focusing on serving the district for the next 18 months.